Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday morning. I want to say hey to all my subscribers new as well as season. I got a word for you. In fact, it's an email response. So I'm going to combine two emails into one. The first one, a young lady wanted me to address. She feels like her blessings are stuck and she thinks she knows why. She definitely is a chosen one and God is bringing her higher, but she feels convicted in a certain area, and I'm going to address that. Secondly, I want to talk about the importance of not playing into the narcissist game. There's an individual who feels like, no, he's doing this, he's doing that, and he's telling this person this. Like, I got to set him straight. If I don't set him straight, it's like I'm playing myself, or it's like the people are going to believe what he says, right? So she just feels like she cannot ignore the narcissist. What I said in one of my prior recordings, she's having a very difficult time. Like she wants to fight him. So I'm going to talk about that. All right. So first thing first, to my sis who feels like God is convicting her about a certain area. All right. She's okay with me talking about it in detail. Definitely not her name, but I summarized her email. So basically, about 5 years ago, she dated a married guy for 8 years, right? So she knew about the wife. In fact, the wife knew about her. They even worked together for a period of time. And, it's a moment where she feels like it's been a long time ago, 5 years. So she feels like she's gotten rid of it. But she's being convicted in her spirit all of a sudden recently. And again, what it is the higher you go, God is going to convict you because he needs you to expel your prior self, your prior ways, right? He has to expel that stuff in order to purify you before he shifts you higher. So you will feel that he will start to convict you in certain areas, right? And it will literally be nonstop. It will be nonstop. You can't run from it. So I've seen different scenarios, right? Just not even in my own personal life, but just with friends and individuals who I have had meetings with. It's amazing how it can be one situation, but God will have people to deal with it in various ways. And this is why I always tell people, please go to your source, because one person's healing or their path or route in order to heal themselves can be completely different from yours, because we all deal with things differently. So go to your source first. People will be your confirmation. All right. So I've seen it where God literally convicted someone to go and apologize to the ex-wife. Now, I'm not telling you to do that, right? Because that can be a head-busting situation, right? So I'm not saying to do this. I'm going to give you a couple of different scenarios that pings my spirit and that I've encountered. All right. So God may have you to go directly to the ex-wife, especially because you know who she is and you guys work together, so you know where she is, whatever. Now, that can be for a different case by case situation. It could be a situation because I know someone personally who, when they did that, she and the wife actually became, I wouldn't use the word friends. I use the word friends loosely, but it was a spiritual moment that when she went and humbled herself and was vulnerable enough, tears and all, to ask this woman for forgiveness. What happened is, because that woman saw her vulnerability, right, and saw that God had already, was taking her higher, then the wife used that as a growing moment, and they both embraced each other, and then they both got down to the root cause that what do we have in common that we are allowing this behavior of the same man to go on and on and on and on, and the rest is history, right? And from my understanding, I think they are cool to this day. And they're both no longer with him, but this has been some time ago, right? And then again, God may just need you again to bring it to the forefront, to him, just you and him in secret, you and him. He already knows what you did. So we can sweep things under the rug all we want. God knows, right? So he may need you to just come to him, put it on the table, confession and all, not bits and pieces, all of it, and genuinely ask for his forgiveness. He will forgive you. Once he forgives you, that's freeing. No one can ever use that against you. So again, go directly to your source and ask God, how do you want me to handle this? You keep bringing it to my spirit, right? How do you want me to handle this? I don't know if you guys heard it was one time Joyce Myers was talking and she had said something like she stole some money from her job or something like that. And years and years and years and years later, God convicted her and she had to go back and write a check. I'm sure it was for a more substantial amount than what she took. And she had to go back and pay that money back, right? So there's times that God will convict your spirit because he wants you to be rid of that thing so he can't take you higher. All right, next thing, narcissist. Listen, I don't think anybody in the face of this earth will tell you that it's easy to ignore a narcissist. It's probably I won't say the most difficult, but it is difficult to ignore the narcissist because, mind you, they are literally doing things to trigger your response. So they're doing it intentionally. They're going around starting rumors. They're going around trying to make other people think that you were the problem or the issue, or you said this and you said that. And the whole time, it's something they did and created. And so now the other people are looking at you as it's your fault, right? And so you want to automatically defend yourself. But that's what they want. Look at it as a spider web, right? You know, like how if you have a spider web on your porch and you get the broom or whatever, your slipper, and you chop that spider web, right? You don't like take the whole web down, but you chop it in half. And listen, a couple of weeks past, that spider web is bigger than what you initially saw. Until you literally destroy that web, not cut it, not piece of it down, until you literally destroy it, burn it, bury it, whatever the case may be, you will always be caught up in that web. So you can think you're halfway, you can think that you're fully done with them, and they know it. So then again, they're going to trigger you by starting a rumor, right? They're going to trigger you by telling the family that you want no part of their child. And in fact, they told you to stay away from their child, right? So when the family comes, and this is just an example. So when the family comes to you and say, hey, why aren't you reaching out to that child, your stepchild, or whoever the case may be? The narcissist has already told them that you abandoned the child and not that they told you to stay away from their child. So instantly, that's a character hit. So you want to call and defend yourself to everybody. So now let's say you call that whoever who give you the message, you call them and say, hey, that's not true. They told me to stay away from their child and this and this and that. And if I don't do this, I can't see their child again. You're trying to defend yourself. So what happens when you hang that phone up from that person? The person then calls the narcissist back to say, hey, I spoke to such and such, and they said you told them, ding, 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 ding. You're back in that web. You're back in their web. So you literally, and you probably won't be able to do it on the first or the two attempts, right? Because again, it's just natural to want to protect your character, but it's going to have to be intentional. If you're to the point, now let's be clear, you have to be 100% done with them. Again, sometimes people think they're done with a person and they're really not done. They may be like that 85%, right? Take a cake, put a toothpick in it, you still got some, you're going to be 100% done. Meaning, either God has been very, very clear with you and told you until you remove this person for good, you won't go any higher. You're going to block your blessings. Or until your edges are gone and your hairline is receding from a man and you're just finally done. There's nothing else you can do. You have nothing else left to give. Once you arrive to that place, it's going to be easier for you to cut a narcissist off completely, remove every single thing attached to them, including financial resources. Again, my heart grieves for anyone to have children with a narcissist, because it's almost like you still have to deal with them one way or another. Even if you're not seeing them, right? Even if you guys have a middle person, they're still going to be putting downloads in that child ear about you. They're still going to be putting downloads into the middle person ear about you. So they still have that leverage. They have access to you. With a narcissist, it's almost like you can give them no access. Zero. If you give them one entryway, one access point, they're going to use it and cause a whole fiasco. So it's more about So it's more about cutting them off, everything attached to them, where they have zero access to you. To the point, even if someone calls you and say, hey, I saw something, don't even call the name. Don't even call the name. Matter of fact, let me call you right back. No, matter of fact, don't even say don't call the name, because the person will then go back and say, oh, such and such, what's going on with y'all? Because this, don't even do that. If someone calls you, listen and just say, oh, okay. All right, well, the doorbell is ringing. I'm going to call you back, right? You don't want to give them any leeway at all. You have to suck them dry. Gray rock method. You got to suck them dry. And then if you happen to bump into them, all of a sudden, you're the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, I love you. You're wonderful. Your heart is so good. Love bombing. Love bombing, just to suck you back in. It was never, ever, ever authentic. It was always about using those words to sucker you back in. And the minute you're back in, to answer that phone again, the minute you're back in, you're giving them more access to do more damage than what they did the first time. You cannot play with a narcissist. You cannot win in a physical, fleshly realm with a narcissist. You will not win with a narcissist, not in a fleshly battle. This is a spiritual fight. These people are literally demonic. They're demonic, not just mean. They're demonic. They have demonic spirits within them. Until God gets a hold of them, because that's only a job for God. Until God gets a hold of them and prayerfully clean them up of whatever they got going on, please stay away. Grieve it. You're going to cry. You might be in a depression for quite some time. Grieve it and everything attached to them. And watch how so many blessings accelerate in your life because you're no longer attached to a demonic spirit. God is not going to bless another demon. So if they're in your life, why would he bless you further? Knowing that a demon is sitting right next, knowing you're sleeping with a freaking demon, knowing a demon is right next to you in your car, knowing a demon is within the family, and God ain't got time for that nonsense, honey. I sure ain't got time for it, so yeah, no. So I hope this helps you, sis. So yeah, my first is take it to God, ask God, confess and ask him how to address it. My second person, I know, trust me, you want to, go there and you want to put your Vaseline on, right? You want to put your Timbs on, right? Let God fight your battles. And I promise you he will. You guys have a great one. It's your girl.